every day you wake up, you realize it's a gift to play this game, and I'm grateful for that. And so I hope that it's here, and I hope that it's here for a long time. I hope we win some more silverware on the front hall, and we get some more championships. And if it's not here, then I'll be prepared to do that somewhere else. But I hope that it's here.
Russell Wilson reportedly accepting offers for his house in Colorado. Price tag, around $25 million. As you know, benched in Week 17 for Jarrett Stidham. Sean Payton and the Broncos haven't spoken about a final decision regarding his future in Denver, but Charles Barkley knows what's up. Here he is commenting on Russell Wilson, who was at the All-Star game last night.
Russell Wilson, yes indeed. My man who's looking for a job as we speak. He is. He's not going back to Denver. That ship has sailed.
Take it from Adam Schefter, move over. Charles Barkley is coming for you. Russ won 104 games in 10 seasons with the Hawks. He posted 66 total QBR. His time in Denver, we all know that was nowhere nearly as successful. 8 games under 500, QBR dropping by more than 20 points. So, Mikey T, it's not exactly breaking news that he won't be there in Denver. But where Russ goes is so intriguing, and in what role. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are from a front office perspective.
Hannah, he's going to be a backup, just like you laid out there. His production's gone down. He's getting older, and he needs to go to a place where he can hopefully, for his sake, resurrect his career. So to me, it's the New York Jets as a backup to none other than Aaron Rodgers, and here's why. The Jets will obviously have to draft an offensive tackle for Aaron Rodgers. They will acquire another speed receiver to go opposite Garrett Wilson, but they need a young, inexpensive backup quarterback. 66 quarterbacks started a year ago, and when they lost Aaron Rodgers, their season was over. So to me, go recruit Russell Wilson, tell him he can resurrect his career with the Jets, and then in a year, he could reevaluate things. And for somebody that has so many off-the-field aspirations for him and his wife, Hannah, what better market than to be in New York? So I think it's a marriage of convenience. It's a temporary one, but it gives the Jets a better chance to win this year.
Well, Sierra's also from Atlanta. I'm just saying, it's hard to imagine him going back and playing for Nathaniel Hackett, given what happened their first season. Nathaniel Hackett is still... Yes,
Preach.
Dan. What? Yes, Dan.
Mike T's been talking about this all day. He's not going to play for Hackett. He's not going to back up Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to let him back up Aaron Rodgers. And guess who's running the Jets right now? Aaron Rodgers. No way.
Sam?
Where's he going to go?
I'll say this.
Where's he going?
I'll say this.
I don't know.
Atlanta's an option. So, Mike T, where's he going to go? Atlanta's an option. Pittsburgh is an option as far as where he's going to go. He's not going to go and be a backup anywhere. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Think about this. Okay, you talk about some of the numbers statistically, but last year, he was 7-8. Well, they started off 1-5. The defense was giving up 33 points, over 33 points a game in those 6 starts. Remember, there was a 70-point game. They gave up 35 one game, 28 another game, 31. Then all of a sudden, what happened? All of a sudden, Russell Wilson starts to win. He wins 6 out of 7 games. And also, what we didn't know, we found out later, was that in that 6th game, or there's a 4-game winning streak, but 6 out of 7, there's conversation about, hey, you need to take a pay cut, otherwise we are going to bench you. So that's what's going on behind the scenes. Yet while that's going on, Russell Wilson is still winning. And so for me, this is not a conversation about Russell Wilson going to be a backup to Aaron Rodgers or to backup anywhere. It's a conversation about certain teams that want to win, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, need a quarterback. They just let one of their guys go. Certain teams, like the Atlanta Falcons, have talent all around the field. Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts. Certain teams need a quarterback, and Russell Wilson could fill that void. Could you go to the draft? Sure, but you've tried other quarterbacks at different positions. Maybe you need a slight upgrade. I'm not saying he's going to come and resurrect a whole program, but maybe he will, right? Like, all I know is this. Last year with Russell Wilson, he was fighting behind the scenes. There was so much going on we didn't know about, yet he and his team, they were still winning despite a bad defense that did get it turned around. Give credit to the defense. Part one. Part two, some of these other quarterback-needy teams are going to look at Russell Wilson and say he's better than what we had last year and better than what we may be able to get in the draft if we're that desperate for a quarterback. We don't have a top 5, 10, or 15 pick.
Mikey T, couldn't you see him maybe not necessarily as a backup, but as a veteran presence while a young quarterback is developed, a la Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes?
Hannah, that is plausible, and I understand what Sam's saying, so we have to see how things sort out. But there's also another scenario where, let's say, Pittsburgh trades for Justin Fields, and they already have Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph. And let's say Atlanta trades up with the Patriots to get to number 3 and draft a quarterback. So we have to see how things sort out. I know, based on my own experience, Vinny Testaverde was sitting out there in June. It's not a death sentence. We signed him at the Jets and went to the championship game that year. So all I'm saying is, I think we're going to be a long ways away until we know where Russell Wilson is. And at some point, you have to think about supply and demand from both sides. And again, if I'm the Jets, I have to learn what happened last year. The Cleveland Browns had 4 different quarterbacks play, and they won. They got to the playoffs and won 11 games. But to me, if I'm the Jets, they have to improve upon Zach Wilson as their backup.
He's not giving it up. He's not giving it up, Dan.
We were killing him on Get Up this morning over this. We didn't even mention the Hackett thing, which is an outstanding point. Mike T, if you're the GM of the Jets and you're considering bringing Russell Wilson in, what are you going to do about that? Those two guys can't possibly get along again. That was a disaster of a marriage. Look, I think just to get on the plane of reality here, like a lot of this is going to have to be like what Russell wants to do. You talk about, I think Sacho brought up the idea of like an Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes thing, or like a Kurt Warner, Eli Manning situation, right, from Eli's rookie year. You have to have a Russell Wilson that's willing to do that. And I'm not 100% sure at this point in his career that that's where his head is. He's made a lot of money. He's done a lot of winning. If the only situation for Russell Wilson is one that he's not thrilled with, I could see him waiting it out. He's going to make $39 million from the Broncos this year, no matter what, whether he takes a single snap or not.
Yeah, you mentioned the Browns and their success. Joe Flacco, right, came off the couch and into the rescue.